That's good.
Ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff.
And liftoff. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you may be listening to us across the globe. It is Tarot Today Live. We are live here with you, video streaming on YouTube and simulcasting on Blog Talk Radio on the Psychic Talk Radio Network. Thanks for everybody that's called in, listening in radio land out there. If you want to call into the show, 714-816-4628. As soon as you get through, press 1 on your dial pad so we know you want to be live on air with us. 714-816-4628. Let's see. How's it going, Mary?
It's
another
going pretty
Saturday.
well. Yeah. Happy Psychic Saturday, everybody.
Yay. Back again. We got a lot of stuff for you today. And, we're going to talk about, when you're in the beginning and memorizing cards and how to do some of this stuff easier and things like that. We got the cards of the day. We got the numerology of the day. We've got your phone calls and questions in the chat. Who's in the chat? Okay, Ellie, the Moonchild, is in there. Hi, Ellie. And Sharona. Thanks for joining us. Oh, yes. So we are the official broadcast of the Tarot Guild. thetarotguild.com. Come over and join us on the website. I got the links in the chat for everybody in there. And you can sign up for free on the website. Got that link in there. You can check out the course, and professional readers, come get certified. The certification page is also linked there in the chat. If you're listening on Blog Talk or you've called in, open a new tab in your browser and type in tarottoday.live. Come over to the channel on YouTube and click on the current live. You can join us in the chat, and you can ask questions about tarot and numerology in general, or specific questions about the guild and professional tarot reader certification, our course, anything about the website and how to navigate. The website, thetarotguild.com, it's not just a website. It's actually a social media platform like Facebook. I always say it's like Facebook for tarot. Without all the negative stuff. Has all the same features.
The toxicity.
Yeah. And you get to join free. Just pop on over there. And as far as news, what's going on? I posted a news update yesterday. If you go over to thetarotguild.com, right on the front page there, you're going to see this banner. And you can click on that and read what's going on and so forth. The main feature is that we're excited to announce that one of our very own members and certified readers, Nicole Coella, has launched her Kickstarter, Kickstart Your Tarot Business. I keep thinking of the website Kickstarter every time I look at that title. Kickstart Your Tarot Business. Yeah. It's officially launched back on the 6th there. And I've got a whole news post about it, and it's linked on the update there, and you can check it out. And I'm going to be doing an interview with Nicole shortly. I think we're tentatively scheduled for Tuesday. So that's going to be coming out. Keep your eyes peeled for an interview with Nicole. I'm sure we'll have lots of neat little tidbits, to help you in your tarot business, and little blurbs from her book and so forth. So definitely be on the lookout for my interview with her. Also in the update, we're mentioning our workshop that we mentioned on our last show that Gary is doing basically for tarot advisors and spiritual entrepreneurs, how they can build consistency and brand awareness with multiple streams of income. I'm always telling people that, like when we were talking about taking our certification course, for instance, you can add those skills to being a tarot advisor, but you can actually do a completely separate stream of income on that and be a life coach. But there's a lot of other things too. I can't wait to see what Gary has in store for us, because there's a lot that you can do as a tarot professional. And tomorrow, Sheila Height returns to Magic Universe with Sharona. Tarot and Spiritual Odysseys. There on the banner, you see Sheila in front of the Sphinx in Egypt. She's doing these really cool explorations of Egypt. So I can't wait to hear that tomorrow, Sunday, April 9th, with Sharona Rapsik, who's in the chat with us right now. So that's a little bit from the update. Go over to the website and check it out. Awesome. Let's see. Any comments in? Oh, Aloha Jay is in the chat there. And boy, I'm having trouble seeing this. Hold on a second. I got to blow it up because I'm old, right? Gratitude greetings, Marianne Dax in the queue for some great news. I'll call in again. Ian. Oh, is that Ian? Oh, yeah. No, Jay. Okay, now I'm really confused. Oh, the connection is choppy, he's telling us. Okay, I get it now. And Ellie says, looking forward to Gary's workshop. I wanted to ask him about advice tips for moving away from free readings into putting yourself out there and getting paying clients. That's awesome. Nilda's in the chat as well. And if you have any questions about any of that and going pro, just type them in the chat. We'd love to talk about some of that on air, but also if you want a free reading, hey, just pop it in the chat. Mary, how do they get a free reading in the chat on YouTube?
Yeah, they just type in their question, or they say, pull a card for me. They don't have to ask. They don't have to wait in line. They don't have to do any of that stuff.
Oh, I love the teal shirt. Your top there. It looks greenish teal. Aqua. Yeah.
Aqua.
Wow, that's very different for you. That's a different color. It's really
Easter.
Oh, that's why. I just noticed that. I was like, wow.
These are my Easter colors.
Cool. So while I got you up here on screen, what card did you get for the day?
Well, it's crazy, right? But speaking of Easter, I got the Judgment card.
No.
Oh, I know. I was like, that is so bizarre. This is from the Ludi Lestat tarot deck. They're all naked, like from the back. So they're all naked. Naked people. Happy Naked Easter.
Naked Easter.
Yeah. But it's a great card when you think of the idea, and even if it's not about Easter, just the idea of spring and being a time of renewal and rebirth. And what is calling you? What is calling to you? It's a good time to kind of take a look at that and examine that. And I also pulled an Oracle card of the day from the Power of the Elements deck, and the message is be true to your authentic self, embrace life. So that with the Judgment card, it might be a good time to kind of think of like ways in which you can do that. Are you being true to your authentic self, and is what needs to be reborn within you, what needs to be renewed? But that's what I got. What did you get, Dax?
I don't know. Oh, okay. So, well, it's the 8th, we don't have to do any addition or subtraction or nothing, just to figure out the numerology. It's 8. It's abundance. Great day to be working on that. The entire date, however, reduces to a 1, new beginnings. Yeah, it's that independent energy. It's that one, leadership and new beginnings, things like that. And then cards of the day. Oh, I actually have them on my screen. So let me pop them up there. There we go. or actually they're over here. Okay. So I pulled some cards, and I pulled one card, and then I'm like, what? And then I pulled another card, then I pulled another, which typically happens to me. I'm like trying to figure out what's going on, So, Seven of Cups. Okay. And then the Queen of Wands. This is to me the illusion of independence. And I think that's what is the message today. We think we're being independent, but is it actually an illusion going on here? The other thing, the other aspect of this, because I got the Nine of Pentacles and being an 8-day, how do we get to abundance? Even when we're running our own business, Ellie was talking about in the chat about, monetizing her tarot readings, and, being the solo entrepreneur, basically the Nine of Pentacles there is the self-made woman. It's the card of the entrepreneur to me. And you think that, oh yeah, I don't have the boss, but actually now you have a new kind of boss. You have the clients. Okay. And so the big message here, I think, is to put your focus back on that. It's like, how are you serving your clients? How can you serve your clients? What problems are you solving for them? And to focus on them versus too much focus like the business itself and the running of it, and more focusing on, the actual people you're serving. So that's where this illusion of independence comes in, because we're never independent. We right, Mary, we're
all connected.
We're all connected. We're dependent on each other, really. I mean, there's no such thing as any kind of business. Money is just the exchange of energy. You have to exchange energy, and that involves other people, right? So how are you serving them? So that's what I got.
Yeah.
Fun
Cool.
stuff. Yeah. Let's see here. So we were going to talk a little bit. Let me check on a few things here. Gosh, my tabs are all over the place here. Okay, we got a few callers in there. Some of the callers don't have their hand raised, and that's perfectly fine. You can just call in to listen to the show. But if you want to be live on air with us, remember to press 1 on your dial pad so it raises the skinny little alien hand, as Mary always says. 714-816-4628. We'll give some time for people to get in on the phone lines there. Going to check the chat real quick here. Blessings, Mary and Dax from Nilda. Welcome back.
Hi, Nilda.
Kianet. Hi, Kianet. Are you new? I think that person's new. How are you? We are good. And so we're going to talk about, this came up on the other, what was it, the last show, Mary? Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
On Monday we said, well, we could talk about that. I don't even remember how it came up about, so I think it was someone in the chat having trouble memorizing. It might've been,
well, it was a question about
what's her name?
Whether or not it was okay to do readings while you're still on book, when you're still using the guidebook, and like how that doesn't really go so well.
I think it was Rosie.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I remember the question. And, I think it's a question that a lot of people have. And when you first, when you first get your tarot deck, right, the first deck you get and you're like, wow, it's amazing. What does it mean? And you dig out your little white book and you're like, what does it mean? Because the little white book usually isn't all that much help, right? You have a list of keywords. You might have a slight description of the card, but then what do you do with that? Do you read those keywords out loud to your client with every card that comes up? Generally, no. When you get to the point where your reading flows, where it makes sense, where the cards that come up they're coming up in answer to the question, even if it's a general question, a general reading. And so, how do you do that? How do you know what all the cards mean without using the book? Well, you could call it memorization, but
Right.
also I think it's really something that happens with practice. It's like, how do you know how to do anything? How do you know
Hmm.
what anything means? Generally
Sure.
because you build familiarity with it.
I also think that, especially in the beginning, um, it takes time. And as you're studying the cards and you're looking at
Mhm.
what different people say about it, I must have read like 50 tarot books when I started out, and
Yeah.
it's like, well, actually, if I think back that far, there wasn't 50 tarot books, but I read the ones that were on the market, and as they were coming out, I literally lived in, Borders tarot section and Barnes and Noble's tarot section, 30
Right.
years ago. And so you're studying different people's ideas on meanings, and you're kind of developing your own language of the cards, and it just takes time, but as far as memorizing, it's association that's the best techniques for memorization. But I think in the beginning, why not just look at what's going on in the card, try not to overcomplicate it, without even knowing anything about what the meaning, quote unquote, or keywords of a card or a group of cards is actually supposed to be. You can figure things out, folks. I have an example, actually. Let me put that up.
Mm.
This is one of my favorite examples. So you're throwing down the cards, you may not even understand the court cards, like the knights of cups. Here's the two of cups, here's the four of wands. They have all these different plethora of meanings, keywords, things like that. But if we just throw the cards down and get this, and we look at it and go, okay, so there's a guy on horseback, and he's like moving towards the other cards, and at a fairly slow pace, maybe might be a gallop, but it's very slow, and he's bringing something with him. He's got that cup there, and then in the very next card, okay, you got two people coming together, and they got two cups, and it looks like they're doing a toast. The man is kind of leaning forward and reaching out to the woman. You got two people coming together, and then over here, let me see if I can move me out of the way a little bit here, and yeah, you've got celebration going on. There's people back there celebrating, dancing. There's four poles holding up what would you call that, Mary? Like a canopy kind of thing, made out of
Yeah.
grapes and oranges and or whatever those are, and leaves and stuff like that, and okay, so there's a celebration, there's two people coming together, and it looks like a romantic thing, and then there's this other guy over here, the knight is on the horse, and he's coming in. Well, it could simply be he's bringing an invitation to a wedding and a wedding reception. It's
Yeah.
it's that easy. Now, does an invitation to a wedding reception or an invitation to a wedding, does that have anything to do about the specific keywords of, the four of wands, the two of cups, the knight of cups? No. But you don't need that, is my point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the beginning, and we could talk about speeding up how you're going to memorize the cards, for instance, but it takes time regardless. In the beginning, just start getting comfortable with the cards. Just start,
Yeah.
throwing spreads. What would this mean? And think of contemporary meanings, and don't try to figure out, the keywords. Just look at the images and what's going on in the images. Think of them as movie scenes. In fact, you could think of some of them, as you're looking at the cards. What if you hit play? What would happen?
Yeah.
the static
Tell a
image
story. What story
becomes a
do the
video.
cards tell you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, as far
Yeah.
as memorization, I'll say this. I mentioned association. That to me is the key. You know, I have a lot of trouble memorizing people's names. So I associate when someone introduces themselves, I first of all try to use their name 3 times. And that kind of
Mm.
at least gets it stuck in short-term memory, if not long-term memory. And then eventually it gets moved over. But you know, the more you use it, okay. And then I try to associate it to something, you know, like I met one of my friends got a new girlfriend, and her name was Dorothy.
Mm.
So I just associated it with the Wizard of Oz, and I plastered that on her forehead, you know, not literally, folks, but in my mind's eye, you know, as I'm looking at her across, you know, I'm putting Wizard of Oz, Dorothy, across the top of her forehead here. So every time I see Dorothy now, I see Wizard of Oz and I go, Dorothy, and I remember her name instantly, you know. And so it's the same kind of thing. What can you associate those card meanings to? And you know, what keywords you find out and read about online and in books and in my course, and shameless plug. And you know, how can you associate that to contemporary things happening in your, I'll give you an example. The Queen of Pentacles. So when I first got my first ever Rider-Waite Smith deck, I looked through all the cards. And when I got to the Queen of Pentacles, I was like, oh, that looks exactly like my mom. And from that point on, last 30 years, mom card, you know, when I get that, it's the mom. Now, Pentacles, is that really? Maybe not, you know, but if you look at the card and what's going on, and she's got the pentacle and she's kind of holding it, you know, nurturingly, like it's a baby, but it's a pentacle, you know, and that has got stuck in my head from like day one of looking through Waite Smith. And it's that fast that you can memorize. Now, another way to speed things up is to associate in a different way. And the way I do it in my Tarot by the Numbers course is numerologically, using numbers. So taking the deck and taking all the ones from the major arcana and the minor arcana and looking at them together, and then the 2s, and then the 3s. Of course, you want to learn what 1, 2, 3 through 9 and 10 is in numerology. And you want to learn also the elemental associations, you know, what is fire and earth and water and air, and the quintessential or the 5th element, I associate that with the major arcana. So once you have the intersection of that with the numbers, it makes it so easy to really get some associations and memorization going on. And you know, a lot of people don't do that. They go through the deck, Mary, and what they do is they look at this card, and then they look at this card, and then they look at this card. They never look at the cards as a whole. So one of my suggestions is break them up by numbers and look at those groups. Another thing is just simply, and you may need your, what I did originally was my entire bed. You need your entire, and I laid out in lines every card in every suit, grouped them by suit, and looked at what was going on. And as you look at it, you can kind of get a progression going through each suit. And once you know what the elements mean, and you start looking at that, and then you know what the numbers mean, things just start to fall into place, and it becomes really easy to associate by grouping things. So that's another aspect. And the other thing I wanted to mention is, as you're doing that, and even if you're going through doing the card of the day thing, or you're going through the cards one at a time, try to look at what's really going on. And I know, especially in the Waite Smith, we've got these very, medieval type of, some of them, the way they look, you know, like knights and kings and things like that. But look at the actions and the stances, the look on their faces, other things, birds, you know, other plants, trees, other things in the scene, what's going on. Try to make connections in your own life. Those are going to serve you better because it's more contemporary and you're able to, like I did with the mom card, it's instant association. You will never forget, when you see your boss in XYZ card, you're never going to forget. It's like, oh, that's the boss card, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's all about associations. And the other thing from the very beginning, throw in, just try throwing the cards down and trying to make sense of it, and when I say make sense of it, don't strain yourself with the concepts of trying to intellectually figure out meanings. Instead, look specifically what's going on in the card, like I did with that example for the invitation coming in to the wedding reception. I wasn't intellectualizing that, and I was not looking at what typically those cards mean as far as keywords and stuff. Instead, what I was doing was, well, there's a guy bringing something and there's a couple getting together and there's a celebration, what's actually going on in the cards. So Mary, what do you think about that? And then
Yeah, I don't
tips you
do
got?
any of that. I don't do it that way at all. But what I
that's
did in
fine.
the beginning is because I think also, like, everybody's different. They all have like different things going on in their lives and different approaches to stuff. I was a performance poet for many years, reading off book. So, for me, it's always been writing, and the same when you do theater. Like for me, it's like writing down the lines, and then it just sticks. And then you can memorize it. There it is. You blurt out what you memorize, you write it down. I created a little tool a long time ago. That's why it looks so terrible. But
what does it
this
look
is
like again? Can you pop that up in the camera?
well, yeah, hold on a second. I just took a little box that I got at Michael's, just a little plastic box, and I got these little cards. Now, I wanted them small. You could use index cards. These are the size of floral cards, like that you get with flowers, But for each card, and let me pull out a few different ones. What I did was I color coded them. And this was when I decided I was going to go professional, but I needed to be off book in order to do it. So all I did was like type up these little labels, right? And so like I fit like 3 labels per card. The white labels at the top, that's for the major arcana. This is what is it? Oh, this is the Fool. And for each one, I put down just a couple of things at the top that I wanted to remember about the Fool, like unlimited potential, right? Connected to Uranus, just, it doesn't matter what it is, the things that stand out for you. And then the next label is I put, what does that card mean? What might the meaning of the card be when it's positive? That's how I looked at it: positive, neutral, and negative at the time that I did this. So, and I was thinking of it elementally as far as like, okay, when it has cards that are positively affecting it around it, or it's on its own, what's just a good meaning for that? And I had you could put a phrase or a word. I put anything's possible, right? Because when the Fool comes up, anything's possible. And then for neutral, when maybe, the cards around it sort of, kind of tamp down that open, full energy, I put down just live in the moment, right? And then for the negative, I talked about carelessness. And then over the years, I added a whole bunch of, these are all written on front and back and everything, because I'm like, oh, wait, that's an interesting thing that would come up. But, it's really a form of journaling, and a great way to journal, to help you memorize the cards, to be familiar with them, is get an extra deck. If you're using the Rider-Waite Smith, get an extra set and take a notebook and put down, actually like tape the card inside one of the pages, leave a couple pages, and then go to the next one until you have a notebook, full of your cards taped in and pages to write on the meanings. What comes to mind when you are looking at that card on the page?
Yeah,
What meanings have you already learned or read about that really resonated with you?
I
Because if
did
it
that.
resonates with you, it's gonna stay with you better. But yeah, sometimes just writing down things over and over again is a quick way to memorize, because
Mhm.
there's something about writing it that, for a lot of people, it just kind of clicks better. And then also make yourself like a little tarot decks. That's what I called it, like kind of a Rolodex,
I love that.
because
Tarot decks.
yeah, because they're color coded. I could just flip through them and pull out that card and read what I had written down. And sometimes I'd write other meanings. And
Mhm.
it just really helped me very quickly to no longer need a book, because I kind of had this and then I no longer needed that, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I think the best way ever though is just practicing, you know. Pull three cards. What story are they telling you? What would that be as a sentence? If
Mhm.
if the beginning, middle, and end, you could approach it that way. But the more you do it, the more it's going to stick with you, and you won't have to worry about memorization anymore. And instead you'll have a real sense of what that card is about, rather than just a laundry list of keywords.
Yeah, there's something magical, about writing it down. And
Mhm.
studies have shown that it does help with memorization. I bought a journal, and, I didn't get a fancy journal. I got a 300-page, really cheap spiral ring journal, like we had in school, kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
And I did the same thing with the cards, but I was big into computers early on, and printers and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, this is an opportunity for me to use my printer. So I I scanned, and back in the old days, you had to scan everything in. And I scanned in the image, the actual physical cards, and cut out, printed it out on paper, cut it out, and stuck it in there just like you're talking about. And
Mhm.
I did one card at a time, and left a few. I wrote everything I could, and then left a couple of pages after that for new stuff that might come in, and then put the next card. And 78 cards, it can get very tedious. Now imagine if you do reversals. Of course, you could put your reversals in with the upright, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
I don't use reversals, so I don't worry about that. But everything we've been talking about, whether you're doing my exercise of grouping it by suit, grouping them by numbers, looking at the cards and trying to, just see what contemporary things from your own life you can associate, laying out 3 card readings, and like I did in the beginning, see what you get. And then you can write all that in the journal. And then
Yeah.
and I'm not saying don't buy a book. I'm not saying don't study the cards and study the system and read several books and look at what other people think. But
Yeah.
just always remember, there is no set of meanings. People
No.
think that there's this, written in granite, Mary, but it's not. It's not. First of all, every card is a spectrum of meaning. And that's why I don't use reversals, because it can go, through this whole spectrum from one side to the other. And so I just look at the question and the surrounding cards and determine whether it's the more, negative side of the spectrum or the more positive side of the spectrum. Because every card, even the sun card, I don't care what it is, 10 of cups, they all have a shadow side to them, and I just I think we should look at what other people say, but only to spark our own ideas. Like, look at
Mm.
what somebody else sees as a keyword and then go, oh, well, in my life, XYZ, oh yeah, I'm going to associate it to the card. Basically, my language of the tarot is not Mary's, is not Ellie's, is not anybody else's, and vice versa and everything.
Oh yeah. And for me, it
you're
wasn't just
individual.
like, yep, exactly. And what really was what got me like, I guess, buying a lot of decks of cards. I'm not a collector, not really a collector, but I was so inspired by the different
537 decks.
I was so inspired by the different interpretations that artists had of the same card,
Mhm.
So, and I started to compare that because it's sort of like reading, different books and getting people different keywords. If you see how people depict it differently, that was a big kind of breakthrough for me, was like seeing that and realizing like, wow, okay, because the Rider-Waite Smith, I mean, that's great, but that's only been around since the early 1900s. Tarot's been around since the 1400s. So there's been like a wide, kind of array of the way in which these same cards have been depicted through time. So it's kind of that was really helpful too.
Awesome. Well, I hope this helped you guys out a little bit. And there are NLP techniques and hypnosis techniques for memorization, for we help a lot of students and taking standardized exams and the bar and things like that. There is more that can be done. I think I'll just leave it at that, because we are rapidly running out of time already. we gotta do some readings and take some phone calls, but
a hypnotherapy session with Dax to memorize tarot cards.
Contact me.
I bet that would work.
Yeah, I've done it. So contact me if you'd be interested in exploring that, hypnosis and NLP for memorizing your tarot cards, or at least connecting with your cards. We can definitely put that in the subconscious. I do that with self-hypnosis myself. So
awesome.
Let's see. I did mention about Sharona's show tomorrow. We'll be back on Monday. Maria's show is on hiatus for I don't know how long. So that's everything going on there, folks, just to let you know. What other cool stuff? Okay, before we get to the phone calls, because it is past the bottom of the hour, I wanted to mention, you can grab us a cup of coffee. Go over to coffee.tarottoday.live. Big shout outs to everybody. Thank you so much. I know Charlotte sent us a cup of coffee on Monday.
Yeah, that was cool.
Appreciate that. So thanks everybody that's sending us to coffee. It warms our little fuzzies, and send in, $10, $20, whatever you want. Go over to coffee.tarottoday.live, and I send half of it over to Mary. That's basically what we do. And then of course you can always book a tag team reading with both of us. You get 2 readers instead of 1. I don't think anybody else is doing this. Well, no, oh God, my mind just blanked. Monty and
Amy Zerner.
Yeah,
Monty Farber
the Zerners.
and the Enchanted Couple.
Yes. Also, the Amberstones did that before too. They would do readings together. But yeah, there's not many people doing this, folks. Go to tagteam.tarottoday.live, and you're going to get to spend a whole hour with us, and a lot more time than we could do on these shows. And we can delve into, multiple questions in areas of your life. I'm going to do your whole numerology chart for you and send it to you. Mary's going to do a chakra reading, and probably, knowing Mary, she's going to bring in the crystals and everything as well. Yeah. So
probably
book a tag team.
I can't help myself.
Right. And I just want to mention our lifetime membership real quick. Of course, you can come over and sign up for the website free over at thetarotguild.com. But this lifetime membership is the most awesome deal we got going on right now, where you get your certification included. You can still become a premium member for $1 a month. It's like $12 annually, but it's $134. It's 2 payments of 67 basically for the CTR certification. And my course, you get $100 off. It's $197 with the premium membership, but with the lifetime membership, you're paid up for life. You get my course free, you get your certification free, and higher levels of certification, instead of 2 payments of 67, it's just 1 payment of 67 per level. So you get 50% off, and it's just $197. One and done, paid there. Now if you need payments, we do have a payment plan, 5 payments of $49.99 to make it easier. But go check that out at thetarotguild.com. Awesome sauce. Let's see, Mary, what's going on in the chat room? I know Nilda wants us to pull a life card, please. A life code. I'm not sure what that means.
A life card. Mean just a card about your life?
Your life?
Your life?
Well, I'll pull something, Nilda, and see what's coming. Oh, okay. So you got some kind of a decision that needs to be made. We got that 2 of swords. Swords are thoughts and ideas. These are 2 thoughts or ideas crossing each other. And that's where we get the concept of a 2 different paths you could go down. So like a decision, and she's blindfolded, but is she blindfolded because she's unable to see which way to go, or has she blindfolded herself? In other words, you're unwilling to make the decision. But then the 8 of Wands comes up. So the tarot is saying, whatever this is in your life, Nilda, where you've got a choice to make. Okay. You need to do it quick and fast. And I think the message from the tarot is, to take a lot of the charge out of it is by doing it fast. It's like ripping the Band-Aid off really fast, so just make the decision. And by the way, people that are very successful in life, very abundant in life, one of the key traits is they make decisions fast. Mary, what'd you pull for Nilda?
For Nilda. Okay. Life card. I was just like, life card. What's a life card? So I went to my energy attunement deck to pull a life card, and this is really great. It works with the chakras. This card that comes up is actually about insight and grounding that insight. And the message is about persistence. Be persistent. Don't give up. Also, you want to connect your intuition with your sense of grounding, your sense of security, your sense of like, okay, I feel very centered. I feel very solid, because it's hard to be persistent if we feel a little shaky, So I would work with that, maybe do some Tai Chi with something that is going to help get that energy flowing and help you feel very centered and grounded, and keep going. I mean, anytime the persistence card comes up, it's a card saying like, don't give up. You're on the right track, but you need to make sure that you're solid, that you feel stable enough to keep it going and keep your energy level up. Make sure, of course, that, a big part of doing that is not always just intuition. It's nutrition. It's getting enough, staying hydrated, getting good sleep, all of those things to help you keep going, like the card suggests. So that's what I got for Nilda.
Awesome. And I was going to go to the phone lines, but just real quick, there's some stuff popping up in the chat. Alex wants to know what's Dee's current feelings and next actions towards me. And I had already pulled cards, so I thought I'd just do it real quick. Okay.
Yeah. Dee
sees you as her or his knight in shining armor. Next actions. 4 wands, that card that came up in the reading about the wedding announcement. Looking pretty good there. Looking pretty good. What did you get, Mary? You have anything different?
But yeah, let me just pull something really quick here.
Mhm.
I didn't know if it was going to or not. And obviously, this is a job for the Mystic Martian deck. I'm
Yes, the
just going to
Mystic
pull one
Martians.
card. The Martians suggest, oh, well, look, her feelings or whatever, it kind of fits with what you were saying, the Ouroboros actually comes up here. So that idea of infinity, is it destiny? That feeling of like wanting things to last forever. That's what I get.
Awesome. Okay. So we're going to go to the phone lines. We will be coming back to the chat. Growing Old with Purpose popped in. That's Rosie there. She was in a car accident last night, Mary.
No.
And
Are you okay? Is
I
she
hope
okay?
are you okay? I said, I'm sorry to hear that. And we're going to do a reading after we got to get to the phone lines, folks, but we'll be coming back to this. Rosie, don't go anywhere. She's asking about a few things about it and wants us to pull some cards, but let's get a couple of phone calls in here and then we'll get back to the chat with Rosie here. Some people have been waiting on the phone lines quite a long ways. Let's see. The person that's been waiting the longest, area code 415. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from? Are you there?
Oh, hi. This is Anne. I'm in Colorado.
Anne in
Hi,
Colorado.
Anne.
What's going
What do you
on,
want to
Anne?
talk about?
I would just kind of like the drawing about April, and I really like this time. I like spring. It's finally it's warming up, and flowers coming out, and Easter. So I kind of new beginnings happening. I would see if that's coming up.
Do you want to know what April's going to bring for you?
Oh, Mary, remember Jay said earlier in the chat that it's choppy on the lines today, and I can really hear it in Anne's line.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Something's going on with Blog Talk.
But underwater.
Yeah, a little bit underwater. So what's coming up in April for you? While we were connecting, a couple cards just sort of fell out of the deck, and it's the Moon card and the Hermit card. And so it might be like kind of a nice month to connect with your intuition. The Moon card brings that up, and also you could even be kind of contemplative with the Hermit card, but what really strikes me about this, because I also got the Sun card and the Temperance card, and so it's saying like kind of combine that energy and figure out where you want to shine the light. The Hermit has a lantern, and so sometimes things are illuminated. That could be happening for you in the month of April, but with the Sun card, spring, the sun finally starts to be our friend again, and it might be a good time to see where do you want the light to shine in your life? What do you want to pay attention to, essentially? What do you want to, bring out more that maybe has been in the shadows that we see in the Moon card? But let's see what Dax is getting.
Great.
Yeah, talk about winter going into spring. I mean, I got the 5 of Pentacles here, and it's snowing and everything, and there's 2 people, they're out in the cold. Brr. So it's going to be nice to go into spring and get out of that. We often hear from Charlotte because she's in rural area of Utah and talks about the snow all the time. It's like, oh yeah, well, it's 80 degrees here in Tucson. That's why I live here, but if over, when we get into that time, if it ever strikes you, the feeling of the 5 of Pentacles, which is, 5 is change, and we got the change of the season, but it's 2 people out in the cold, literally, but help is right behind them. There's this stained glass window behind them, obviously like a church or something like that. There's refuge available. The other thing about this that people don't often mention or notice is that they've got each other, the 2 of them together. And then I pulled another card and got the Knight of Cups, which I had earlier in my example reading, so potentially, relationships coming in the spring. But the main thing I think is to remember that if you're feeling down and out, if you're feeling that Five of Pentacles, that the Knight of Cups is going to come in to save, which is your emotions, your having other people, to lean on kind of thing. So if you find yourself in spring, having any of those Five of Pentacle moments, look to those around you is the message coming through. I hope that helped you out, Ann.
Yeah,
thanks
great.
for the
Thank you.
call.
Yep. And sorry for sounding like we're underwater, but I don't know. There's something going on with Blog Talk, Mary. We're going to go to area code 780 has been waiting the longest. Hello, caller. 780. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Dex.
Hey, is that Jay?
Hey, Mary. It's Jay calling from
Hey.
Canada. Yes, thank you for taking my call.
Canada.
Kenyatta.
Canada.
How's it going?
I'll buy some Canadian coffee. I'll buy some Canadian coffee after the show. So, okay.
Your coffee always tastes
Hey.
the best, Jay. I'm just saying.
You're
What do you
welcome.
want to talk about?
Well, I was going to talk to you last week regarding the job. I did get a job, and I'm grateful for the insight from previous readings. So I am grateful for that. And
great.
it's been quite the great week for manifesting. So yeah, it's been very good.
Awesome.
Thanks for reporting back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Glad that's all working for you now.
You're welcome.
Yeah. That's super cool.
Sweet.
Yeah.
We like hearing that when it's good things.
So now that that's
for
all
sure.
happened,
Yeah, I know. Thank you so much.
Now that all that's happened, Jay, has it brought up any other questions for you?
Not really. I'm just chiming in because you wanted to know where we're standing with the job. So it was just great timing, great culture. Just another step. I can't put that down the other job that I had before, but that was there at that time. So I'm in a new position and new outlook, and it looks really great. If you wanted to, you can. Oh, you know what? Why don't we do this?
Congratulations, though.
Yeah.
I'm very, very grateful I had to get it done right away. And I think, did you say that what my job was going to be like if I chose this one? Because I think, I know what it was. I was giving different job positions to go for. Yes, I remember that.
Oh, okay.
And you said a technician, I think, or housing. I forget.
I can't remember.
But
now.
anyhow, I wrote it down somewhere. So, yeah, I wrote it down somewhere. But I don't have any questions right now. But I do have a question regarding a tarot history. Have you done any shows like that on how it all started and what it was? Like a deeper dive into the tarot?
I would love to.
Because that'd be
we've talked about history before.
I'd be interested in that.
You know what? If you look on our channel, it's on this channel, Tarot Today Live. It's like I think our second most popular video is a historical interview that we did with a tarot historian that was showing us some historical decks that like from the 1600s and stuff.
Okay.
It's on our channel now. That might be kind of fun because you get to see some of those really, cards that are like hundreds of years old.
Giordano, I can't say his name.
Giordano Berti.
Berti.
Is a tarot historian, and he has written a new tarot history book. It already came out in Italian. It's supposed to be coming out in English sometime this spring. So I would definitely recommend that. But I would love to do a deep dive
Mhm.
into tarot history. I'm a big fan of it, and it's fascinating.
Yeah. But I mean,
I
just
bet you would be. Yeah.
a basic, hit the basic points, starting from the earliest known surviving deck, just the major, like 5 or 6 of the major points, Levi and Golden Dawn, Waitsmith, Solabuska, Visconti, and kind of like do a little bit of the history. We could do that in like 10 minutes on a show. We should do that on an upcoming show.
Yeah, that would be fun. But yeah, thanks for the suggestion. That would be a real thrill. But meanwhile, I just pulled a
You
card
pull a
for
card
you.
anyway.
Yeah, because that's what I do. I can't help myself.
Okay, thank you.
From the Lyran Oracle, the fifth dimensional white lion beings from the constellation Lyra or something. And I got the Field of Potentiality card for you, which is really a great card with your new job position. And it says, ask and it is given. So
Sweet.
that gives me a sense that, you're in a good environment, where there shouldn't be too much friction, on this new job. So best wishes for you to succeed and,
And real
hopefully
quick,
enjoy.
Yeah. And real quick,
wow.
Jay, I pulled a card too because I couldn't resist, so I got the 8 of Cups.
I know you can read this. Okay.
Yeah, I got the 8 of
Thank
Cups.
you.
So
Grateful for that.
So basically what it's saying is, as you head into this new area here, to let go of the baggage, any attachments you have to the, past jobs and the way things had to be and the way things were, and let the baggage go. Hope that helped you out, Jay.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah,
Yes,
thanks for letting us know.
You're welcome. Like I said, I promised to buy some coffee later today, so.
Okay.
Aww, it's so sweet.
Enjoy your
Thank
coffee.
you.
Enjoy your
We
coffee.
love coffee.
We love it.
Yes, you do.
Bye, Jay. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Take care. Have a grateful weekend.
You too.
Yeah.
Me
Hey,
too.
Mary, it sounds like it cleared up. The phone line.
Yeah, the line got a little better.
So let's take one more phone call and then we'll answer Rosie's real quick. And we're at the end of the show already. So area code 520 has been holding the longest. Hello, 520. Who's there? Hello? Area code 520.
Oh, God, I have you on mute. I was talking. I'm saying my name and everything. I'm sorry. Lisa from Arizona.
Oh, it's Lisa.
Hey, Lisa.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, you guys.
She's right here where I am.
If you ever do a psychic fair, let me know. I'll be there in a heartbeat.
I know. We need to do like something.
Yeah, we do. We should do
Wouldn't
something.
that be fun? That would be
It would
that
be
would be
fun.
so fun.
So what's been going on with you, Lisa? What do you want
I would.
What do you want to chat about?
Well, I have a question about. Can I give you the first the initial of his first name and ask what you see between us, please? The first name is the letter D, as in David, and he is someone I'm very. Oh gosh, heartthrob for me, and I'm wondering what the cards pick up.
Dax, I think it's your turn.
Oh, I thought it was your turn, so I turned my camera off.
I turned mine off because I thought it was your turn.
Oh, jeez.
Who's gonna go first?
Oh God, I got to turn it back on. Okay, now I totally lost it. I got to rewind because now I forgot Lisa's question.
Dave.
Let's start over again.
Letter D. Letter D.
Okay.
He's a heartthrob.
I was for me, and I'm wondering what the cards pick up between the two of us, please.
It was breaking up a little bit. That's why I was straining to hear there.
Oh, I'm sorry. Shall I say it again?
No,
Okay, so
we're having trouble
C.
on the phone lines today.
Yeah, it's not your fault, but I think we got it right.
Yeah, we got it, Lisa.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Okay,
It's okay. So he's coming in as the King of Wands, and so he looks like he's got a little passion here. That's a really good sign. Getting that. I think things are going to be slow and easy. Oh God, I'm getting all kinds of feedback. Hold on, I got to put Lisa's line on hold here. There we go. Okay, so but things are going to be moving moving forward, but I feel slow because we're getting the 6 of Swords. Now 6 is a success card in numerology, but it's an oarsman. I mean, we're not talking about he's got a triple engine speedboat here, right? So things are moving a little slowly, and a lot of the thoughts and ideas are being, the swords are thoughts and ideas, and they're being taken along with them in the journey. Could hint, when I get this many swords, it often hints in readings for me that there's too much thinking going on. Okay. And the King of Wands is more interested in the passion. He's got the wand there. It's fire, the element of fire, so, and then, here it comes again. Literally again, I get the 4 of Wands. I swear, Mary, I'm shuffling and shuffling and shuffling. And I keep getting the same cards from that demo reading I did earlier when we were talking about how to memorize the cards. And they keep showing up, the Knight of Cups, the 4 of Wands, but hey, this is a really good sign where things could go. What about you, Mary? What'd you get for Lisa?
Well, what you said about it, like kind of moving sort of slowly. I'd start off with the 2 of Swords. So that could be kind of like maybe nothing really happens in the beginning. It's kind of a card of like, the swords are like just there. There's not a lot going on. So, but don't let that throw you, because from there, we go into the Justice card. So that is a card of balance and, equanimity, as well as, things being fair between the two of you. Also, it can show that there can be like kind of a good balanced relationship between the two of you as well. I also got the Star card. Anytime the Star card comes up, it lets us know that it's hope, but it's kind of like, God, what was his name? Casey Kasem used to say, like, reach for the stars, but keep your feet on the ground, but be hopeful about this. And also, finally, the High Priestess, pay attention to what your gut feeling is, what your intuition is telling you, any hunches that you have. One thing I have to make a note of here, though, is with the 2 of Swords, the Justice card, and the High Priestess, which is also a 2, there's some duality here. So there's like kind of maybe 2 different aspects of this energy between the 2 of you that you're going to notice. You can be connecting on different levels with that as well, because these are mostly positive cards. So it looks pretty good from here, and just be patient and let it develop.
Well, I hope that helped you out, Lisa, and you have to
Thanks
call
for
back.
Calling.
Yeah, and call back. We haven't talked to you in a while, so it was great. But call us back and let us know what happens with the bow there.
Yes.
Oh, and we're nearing the end of the show here. We're actually at the end of the show, going a little over, but I wanted to get back to Rosie's question.
To Rosie.
Yeah. And she's basically was in that accident. I'm trying to scroll back. Okay, here it is. I was in an accident last night. How are things going to turn out? So she says, I'm okay. My neck hurts. I'm dizzy, but this too shall pass. We are fully insured. And then she said something about, here it is. We didn't get ticketed. So not sure what's going on. I swear we were turning on green. Okay, so they were turning and got hit. Okay. So I think you're up next, Mary. You want to?
No. She wants to know how it's going. If your neck is hurting and you're dizzy, you need to get checked out. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah.
You know,
But I think
it's like
I think she
dizzy,
means the
not good.
whole thing.
The whole thing.
Overall.
Right. Because a car accident is can be multifaceted.
That's
How
scary.
does it turn out overall? It is scary. Overall, I think it's okay. We have the justice card that comes up. So like, is there a legal aspect of that? Is what I would ask. Usually there are with car accidents. Generally, if you're fully insured, then you're get with your insurance company. They're going to help you out with that. Also, the Four of Pentacles comes up here. So as far as like, I'm not too worried about the money issue part of it, really. The Four of Pentacles is generally, it talks about stability and maintaining our finances. So just keep that in mind. No extravagant expenses, even, don't think like big settlement. Okay, I'm already spending, don't do that. And then we have the Page of Cups. So it could be that the communication back and forth, or maybe with you and your insurance company or your attorney or the insurance company's attorney, the other side or whatever, with the Page of Cups, it's like, keep it friendly, keep it friendly, stay detached emotionally, um, during this, which sometimes can be hard. It can be a long, frustrating process. It could take up to 2 years sometimes to settle a car wreck case, and that's just pretty normal, but you want to make sure that everything is addressed. The situation with your car, your physicality, anybody that was in the car with you, etc. We end with the Two of Swords. To me, like, that's more about breaking even. On something like this. The one card that I would be careful of is the Seven of Swords. Don't expect everybody to be completely honest when you have a car wreck, okay, or any kind of legal case. Don't expect that everybody's just like completely honest about every aspect. That usually doesn't happen. But let's see what Dax gets. I think you're going to be okay with this, Rosie.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I'm sorry
I get
to
the
hear
same
about
feeling. So Rosie
Yeah.
says, we just want to get the car fixed if it can be. No fluids were spilled. We are carless now. Will be hard to get around. Yeah. It's, I actually sold my car in November of 21 when the huge used car bubble shot values through the roof. I actually got $10,000 for my car, more than what it was worth. So it was worth 20 and I got 30. So, it was really awesome. So I've just been taking Uber around, there's Uber and Lyft, and renting a car here and there when I need it, maybe a family member, friends, people that have an extra vehicle you might be able to borrow for a little bit, just throwing some different ideas, you might not have been thinking about. Now, the overall on this, I agree with Mary. Sun card, yep, it's all going to turn out fine. And we could stop there, but I'm not. After, I figured let's just pull a couple cards on the different aspects. So health-wise, the High Priestess card. So, listen to your intuition, your gut instincts, your physical feelings, and really, have things looked into and take care of that. All right. As far as the financial part of it and insurance companies and all that, I got, Ace of Swords. It's going to come out good. is everything rosy? Well, maybe not 100%. I mean, see, we got the last card I pulled was the 8 of Cups. And, he's hunched over going up the hill there and has left all the emotions, all the baggage down here. I think it's going to turn out great with the Sun card, but, you're still going to be irked about the whole thing and that it happened. It may be a little difficult to let go of the baggage of this. And I think that's what the tarot is talking about here, is that you need to let go of that. So, but overall, I agree with Mary. I think it's going to be good. You're going to be fine. It's going to take some time. Wow.
Yeah, it's not fun. Not fun at all.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you guys are pretty much okay, though. But make sure that you're okay, because you don't ignore a neck problem or
Ain't
dizziness.
that the truth? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and we had a Sally come into the chat, and she wanted a career reading. Basically, what will my next job be like? And I'm like, that's interesting. It's not when I'm going to get the job. Am I going to get a job? It's like, what's my next job going to be like? Very unusual question. So I pulled a couple of cards just to see, and got the Queen of Swords. Yeah. So this looks like an analytical or technical kind of thing. It's a thinking job. And then I got the Queen of Swords as well. I mean, sorry, the Queen of Pentacles with the Queen of Swords. And that's that nurture energy. Remember the mom card? I told you guys the story about first time I looked at the Waite Smith deck, and I'm like, oh, that's mom. Yeah, nurturing. Okay, so what I feel like is if your recent jobs have not been feeling positive like that, I think this new one will be. I think you'll be much more emotionally satisfied and nurtured by the atmosphere of the workplace. It looks really, really good. I just thought I'd pull something real quick on that, even though we're way past the end of the show. I don't know, Mary, did you pull anything on that, or?
Yes, I pulled a Mystic Martian card, and I got the air element card, and you can see the hot air balloons. So maybe that's your next job. You'll be riding around in hot air balloons, and that would be cool. Maybe you'll be working at the hot air balloon festival.
I want that job.
Albuquerque. I want this job too. But air, it's very much like you were talking about with the Queen of Swords. I believe it's also about using the mind. It can be analytical. In this particular deck, it's about empathy and also, discernment, So it's going to be, again, a thinking job, and maybe one that could be pretty exciting, where you feel like it matters what you have to say. That's the biggest thing I get from it. And that can be a wonderful way for a job to think that, like, what you have to say, what you think, what you're actually doing every day actually feels like it matters. That helps a lot.
Awesome sauce. Hope that helped you out, Sally. Thanks for coming in. Hey, folks, while I'm thinking about it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon too. That way you'll be notified of all of our lives and anything we upload, right? And
like it if you like it.
Like it if you like it. Like it if you like it. But we are 13 minutes over. We got to get out of here. I'm sorry if we didn't get to your question in the chat, folks, but you can call in to I think we did get to all the calls though. Oh, wait, I think we might have missed a call or two, but that's okay. If we missed your call or if we didn't get to your question in chat, remember you can call in to Sharona's show
tomorrow.
That's right. Yeah. Do I still have that banner? Wait, there it is. Sheila Height. Yeah. Same phone number. Write this phone number down, 714-816-4628. And it's 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. Sharon will be interviewing Sheila and then taking calls in the second half of the show. So there you go. All righty. And last comments from Rosie. So they live in a small town without cab service, and so that really sucks. But what we had to tell her does make her feel better, and she's calling the doctor on Monday.
Yay, thanks.
Yay.
I'm like, I'm gonna think about that all weekend. Like, is she gonna call? Is she gonna get checked out? Please get checked
Rosie
out.
okay? Is Rosie okay? Is Rosie? So we'll see everybody on Monday, and we'll say goodbye for now. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Have a great weekend.
Happy Easter.
Good night, Mary Ellen.
Good night, John Boy.